Neil,
Neil,
how's
can you?
the reaction been from the players after Saturday's game?
Well, obviously, the initial feeling is, we're bitterly disappointed. But, we've got a great game to look forward to. And, we've tried to be positive with the players and they've responded in the right way. So we've we've had the luxury, if you want to call it that, of getting some days on the training ground together. And, we move on. We get our heads down, we work hard, but they also have to hold their heads high. There's a long way to go. We're not happy with, the result, but there's plenty of time to improve and bounce back.
As you say, it is early in the season. There are a lot of games still to be played. Is there ever a concern that some of the players don't fully understand what's at stake for Celtic this season in terms of making history?
No, I don't think so. I think that the players and even the ones who've come in are aware of what's at stake. But it doesn't matter if you're going for your first, if you're going for your fifth, if you're going for your 10th. Every year we want to win the championship, and this season's no different. I think the season's been different, in terms of the protocols, the new norm, if you want to call it that. No supporters, and we have to adapt to that as best we can. I don't think the performances, have been really up to the level that we're capable of, and I'm hoping that's going to be turned around as we go along. I think we can be more purposeful, and more penetrating with our play than we were on Saturday and in some of the previous games as well.
Is this the kind of game that the players need after Saturday?
Yeah, look, any game, but a quality game and one that really whets the appetite, and then there's another, huge challenge for them. I think it's important that we, endeavour to win our home games in the group to give us that sort of springboard or platform for attempting to qualify. I think we're up against a very good side who are reinvigorated, at the start of the season. But it's a team that we can cause problems, and obviously being at home, you're looking for a good reaction first and foremost, and strong performance from the core of the players.
Neil, can we assume that Ryan Christie is back, and what's the situation with Edward and the rest of the guys?
Yeah, Ryan will be in the squad, Ronnie. So we're assessing again whether he'll be fit to start. Odson's doing some. He's had the cardiac screening. He's had the blood test, and now we have to, do some physiological work with him in terms of getting, what response his heart rate is to certain exertions before we can, clear him to train fully with us again. So he's just going through the certain health and safety protocols at the minute.
You said the players have to hold their heads high. Had they dropped a bit after the game against Rangers?
Yeah, well, look, that's only natural after a defeat, in a derby. So you pick them back up. Well, they hold their heads up high. They should be, proud of what they've achieved and what they can achieve going forward. So all's not lost on, one result and one performance. However, we know we have to get our heads down now and do some hard work and get the level of performance that we know we're capable of, get a good reaction in the next sort of block of games. We're all disappointment, but we can't dwell on the disappointment. We're not sort of, smoothing things over as if everything's okay. We're just going to work away and not listen to, you have to accept the criticism when it comes. I get that. We've been here before, and we're just looking to react as positively as we can to get a run of games where we play well and win again.
Neil, can I just clarify regarding Odsonne Edouard? Is he definitely out of this game, but potentially in for the weekend regarding the last round of testing? What's the timescale with that?
Yeah, that's correct, Mark. He's he'll not be available for tomorrow. We're hoping, again, I'm not going to be definitive on it because I can't. He's going through some, protocols now and testing to see if he's okay to be involved at the weekend.
Obviously, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the name that kind of is the star of this Milan side. He has been wherever he's gone for the last 10 years. You have played against him briefly. I just wonder what you make of his career today and the threat he brings now at this age of nearly 40. Is he still a threat, or can you dismiss him?
No, you can't dismiss him. He's still a world-class player. I think he is a great role model to all, players, professionals, young players. You aspire to, play the game at the highest level for the longest time possible. I think he is in fantastic condition. I think he's a fantastic approach to the game. And I think what he has accomplished in the game has been magnificent, and he still wants to accomplish more. So he's right up there for me, in some of the greatest players of all time, and what he's achieved on the European scene in different leagues and at different clubs, and obviously for his country as well. He's a one-off. He's very, very special.
Finally, from me, Neil, there's a lot of talk this week about a potential European Super League again. It comes around every so often. Would you hope, if that was to ever happen, under the criteria, a team like Celtic would be approached as a winner of the European Cup? I would have thought that would be one of the things that has to be ticked off if you want to be in the elite of the elite.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept, and I know this story emerged yesterday. You would hope that, in some way we would fit the criteria if it was to be a part of that, but I think we're a long way off, even considering that at the minute.
Neil, to get back to the performance levels that you hope to get back to, you're telling the players to hold their heads high. Are you thinking of any changes, either personnel-wise or formation-wise, or for you, was the weekend just one bad performance?
Yeah, I mean, we had to sort of rejig things a little bit with personnel, and obviously a lot of players were missing and lost them over the international break. We may make a couple of changes for tomorrow, but not wholesale changes, because I don't think we can anyway. But yeah, we'll be looking to freshen things up a little bit.
And for these games coming up, Milan, Aberdeen in the league, Lille, Aberdeen in the cup semi-final, this run of games, how significant is that? Is that something that can maybe use to get to re-energise, if you like, to get the performance levels that you're looking for?
I mean, they're all good games, on paper. So I think the games that the players should look forward to, as we all are. And I think that will get their competitive juices going. And, it has been a bit stop-start, and with the late transfer window, it's been different, totally different to what we've been used to and that routine of things. So I'm hoping in the next block of games we will find our fluidity a little bit more. I think some of the performances have been good. While we've been winning games, in another few games I thought, we've been a little bit, not pedestrian, it's the wrong word, but just lacking that fluency that we're normally accustomed to, particularly the second half of last season. So it's there. It's definitely there, and there's more to come. There's no question of that. And it's just a question of just trying to find that little spark.
Last one from me, Neil. With everything that Celtic have won over the last, decades, do you think there's been an overreaction to one result there at the weekend?
Look, you always get, for me anyway, an overreaction from a disappointing performance or defeat. And that's just the environment that we've become accustomed to. I think these players are amazing. I think they've done amazing things, and I'm confident that they'll continue to do amazing things for the club. We weren't very good, particularly in the second half on Saturday, and that's on me. So I have to take responsibility for the team performance, not the players. And we're working really hard in the background now to, get back to the penetrating, quick football that we know we're capable of doing, and that's what we're looking for in the next sort of 3 to 4 games to try and hit those heights again.
Neil, I just wanted to ask you about the forwards. It was El Yunusi and Klimala up top at the weekend. How do you think the balance is working up there, obviously, with the absence of Edouard? And could we see Ajeti or Christie go up top?
Yeah, you could, yeah. We were sort of forced into that sort of starting lineup because Ajeti, had the hamstring injury, was just coming back. Griff still getting to full fitness. And obviously Olsen being out, and Ryan, being out as well. So we lost a lot of goals. Jamesy Forrest, you're looking at 70-odd goals there. Anyway, I'm not saying that the players performed badly, but we didn't, create enough in the final third, considering the amount of possession that we had. And again, that's on me. I picked the team and, picked the formation. But yeah, we may freshen things up, like I said, for Thursday.
Just finally, as well, you've obviously managed plenty of big games, but would you say this is the biggest in terms of stature since you've returned as manager?
Yes, I think so. I thought, you have a cup final against Rangers, which is obviously huge, and I've managed some really huge games in the league since I've come back. Lazio was an absolute stonker as well, you know, home and away. I think this game, you know, is as big as any of them with the history of both the clubs and the size of both the clubs. It's just a massive shame that we're not going to have supporters in the stadium to see it.
Neil, can I ask for an update on Julian? How's he coming along? You said it was a back injury after the...
Yeah, he's going to be out for, you know, a period of time. He's still in a lot of discomfort. He's had scans. There's inflammation in the spine, at the bottom of the spine. So, yeah, he's going to be a few weeks yet, unfortunately.
Just one last one for me, and maybe something you wanted to pick you up on. You said earlier about blocking out the noise that you've always wanted. Callum McGregor said that post-match as well on Saturday. When a game like that, you get reaction from Celtic fans, obviously, after any Old Firm defeat. What's your message to them who may be watching what they're seeing on Saturday and have some fear or panic set in because of the result?
Well, we understand, you know, the disappointment. We understand maybe there's a bit of anger there, and we all sort of get emotional in the, you know, the throes of after the game. My job is to analyse it in the cold light of day where it went wrong, and rectify it. These players have performed at the highest level for a long, long time. They continue to do that. We're bitterly disappointed to lose a home game, bitterly disappointed to lose again against Rangers. So the reaction's the most important thing now. Picking ourselves up, being strong, being tough, you know, being mental, which these players are. You know, they are. They proved it time and time again. Not every season's going to be the same. You know, every season presents different challenges. We've got new personnel, new players. We're trying to, you know, integrate them all in. I'm not looking for excuses either. We know we can play better, and it's my job to get the best out of those performances and players as we go along.
Anyone else from the weekend who maybe won't make tomorrow night through injury or knocks or bumps?
No, with no fresh injury concerns. Jamesy's another. He's got his foot out of the pot now, so he'll be scanned over the next couple of days. Mikey Johnson's back in training, but again, he's been a long time out, so it's softly with Mikey. And I'm trying to think if there's anyone else on the cusp of things. No, I think we're okay in that regard. No fresh injury worries, put it that way.